Welcome to this week's Off the Court, and round 2 is complete. There were big wins for Thunder, Forest, Mavs, and of course London Pulse. And joining me in the Off the Court studio is netball royalty Funmi Fadoju.
Hi.
Hello.
So happy to be here. Thank you.
I know you're so happy to be here because she told me she's going to be doing her own podcast sooner rather than later. This is what she's thinking about doing. She was quite happy on the mic a moment ago. I've told her everyone will be listening, so soon I'll be out of a job. But it's very good to have you here, Funmi.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here as well. Thank you for having me.
Well, listen, it was a huge win, wasn't it? Round 2 of the Netball Super League against rivals Loughborough Lightning. 77 goals on the board.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that rivalry, because you faced them in the grand final in 2023, didn't get over the line. You then lost the semi-final in 2024, and I was with you guys on the train back home. That was a brutal one.
Yeah, it was a sad
it was a sad day.
Yeah.
And the rivalry between you guys?
I just feel like every single year we've just been so competitive. I feel like during the season sometimes we feel like we have a one-up on them, but then when it comes to the important matches, that's when we find like we're losing out by a bit. So like the grand final, like you said before, we lost that one. I feel like we were winning at half-time, but then they brought it back in the second half. And then again, the next year was semi-finals where we thought we beat them twice in the season. But then when it came to that match, we definitely obviously they did their research, and we didn't do enough, and they were able to adapt quick enough, and they beat us by a few goals.
Well, you got your own back this week. 77 goals on the board. I mean, we usually rave about your defence, but let's talk about player of the match, Nicole Brie. She ended up, between her and Liv, 14 super shots.
Yeah.
Was that planned?
Actually, it is. In training, they're always putting it up. Like, I'm not afraid for them at all. Every time I see them in the 2-pointers, I'm just like, you know what? Have absolute confidence going to get that in. And they've just been so confident recently. And I feel like, you know what? They just do what they have to do, which is amazing. So,
do you ever tip their shots?
Not as much as I would like to, but on a special day.
On a special day. Well, listen, we've got that rivalry with Loughborough. You got the first scout this season, so that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Talk to me about the new rivalry in town then. You have to be nice.
Okay.
Because it's my club, London Mavericks.
The London Derby. I feel like that's also been a thing that's, over the last couple of seasons, we've always been quite competitive. Definitely an aggressive, defensive heavy game. I feel like, I don't know, we just love the fight, don't we? It's a lot of passion on court. We're both London teams, so we have the same backgrounds, and we just want to go out there and play our best. So looking forward to that match.
Who's got the bragging rights at the minute? We're both top of the table.
We're both top of the table, both 2-2. But I'm gonna say, I have to say London Pulse, because we did just end up being like the reigning champions like a week ago. So
all right,
we have that to say. Yeah.
You have every right to do that. Quickly then, who are we in rivalry? Are we United City, or are we more Arsenal Spurs? Like, who are we?
I think we're more of a United Spurs. Like, I feel like the rivalry is there. Like, we both want to win, but at the same time, we're all friends, which is really weird.
Not on Friday.
Not on Friday. No handshakes, no smiles.
Don't even come near.
Just like glares. But normally we're all quite close to each other. We all live in the same city, so obviously we can meet up sometimes, and we all play a lot of us play for England as well, so we have that relationship there. But it's a really fun competitive match. I can't wait for it.
Well, let's talk about that stacked team then. I've mentioned it a couple of times in the last few weeks on Off the Court. I think you've got 6 full internationals out there, English internationals, maybe 7 with Nicole in there as well from South Africa, and then you've got young Gracie, young Darcy, and Tyler over. So, I mean, it's a crazy squad. But one of the questions I wanted to ask today is, it's almost like, why is it Pulse's time? Because it kind of feels like this is the season.
I feel like we've been building for the last couple of seasons, and this time we're finally in a place where we have the depth in the team, we have the experience, and we have the passion. Like, we are hungry. We have that desire to actually go out there and just win in every single game, to go out there, play hard, and just get our foot over the line in every single match. And I feel like this year could be our year, but then again, every single team is saying that right now. Like, it's a new professional league and era, and we just have to go out there and play our best, because it's not going to be given, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. But, I mean, do you guys ever have an off day? Because you had 19 live turnovers in the game against Loughborough, and it was like, you are not slowing up. I think there was a ridiculous amount of deflections. I think it was 19 deflections as well, which I'm sure you had most of your hands in there, Funmi. But, I mean, does it feel like that at training? Is that the kind of environment now where it's just everyone just goes at each other? It
is. At training, we are, I'm not going to lie, probably fell into Liv a few times, pushed her off the mark.
I'm sure she didn't mind. She took it really well.
And I got a few elbows to the faces as well. It's very competitive in training. We're all pushing each other to be the best players that we can be. And I feel like that's why we're able to perform so well on court, because we're doing that consistently throughout the week. And I feel like we all want to be fit. We all want to be on court, training, playing well. So we all just test each other and really see how far we can push each other in every single session.
How much then is that from a trust point of view? Because we talk about, actually one of the things I spoke about London Mavericks, the blag is you've got to make up for the fact that you're playing against teams that have been together for years. So you look at Loughborough Lightning, your Nat Panagaris, your Ella Clarks, your Beth Cobdens, they've all stuck around, Hannah Joseph, and they know each other inside out, right? Yeah. So you can have that safety at training where you might give each other a crack, but you're still mates.
Yeah.
You guys have been together a long time now in terms of, like, Liv, I think she made a debut for Pulse in 2019. You came through in 2021. Hallie came from Wasps. I know she had the knee injury, but she's been in there for a few seasons now. Liz Scholes joined. So it's almost like year 3 now of you all being together.
It is.
And is that something you're all you sort of recognise as a group?
I think we do. I feel like we have that connection on court and off court. Like, we're all friends. We're all, like, see each other every single day. We're very close. And I feel like over the years, we've just been building that partnership, those connections and that trust. Like, I know for a fact that if I look to my right side, that Zara's going to be driving down court and I can just lob her the ball. I know that Hallie's behind me, like, for resets. I know exactly that... I know that Alicia Scholes is probably going to do a quick give and go, and I just say needs to be ready. Like, we have that knowledge already, and we know exactly what to expect from each other, which is really good. So I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons why we have a little extra edge on us this year. Just that partnerships and that connection and that trust.
I want to talk a little bit about Zara Everett because we talk about the 3 of you, of Hallie, Liv and Funmi, and Liz always gets a mention in there as well just because she's wild. I absolutely love her, and she's incredible on court, incredible off the court. But Zara kind of casually goes about, is she like well aware that you guys have all got this little thing and
I think she's a part of it, you know. I feel like she's like the workhorse in front of us. Like, what we do is made possible by her, her hard work out the front. Like no offense, but defenders at the back, we could only do so well if we actually shut down the short balls and the forward balls and get some lifted opportunities to go for flies. And it's like Zara is doing that. So I feel she should definitely get more recognition for that. I feel like she started to get some. Like, last week, she got player of the match.
Player of the match, yeah.
Like, got loads of games, loads of turnovers, loads of interceptions. Like, she does her job. Like, she's just head down. I know what I have to do, and I'm going to do it. So,
what's she like off the court with all your little friendships groups?
Oh, off the court, she's actually...
Is she like a harsh captain? Is she very serious? She's bringing you all back down to earth?
But she has her moments, you know.
Yeah.
Just like, guys, I know we want to do a TikTok ball, let's get to training. But she also lets us play tedball during, like, warm-ups and stuff. She's like, you know what, we need a bit of, like, a fun game to get us ready for training sessions. So, yeah. Off the court, she's really calm actually. Like, I think Zara, she's just on it. Like, she's also a lawyer, so she's balancing both netball and her career in law, and so it's quite hard for her. But at the same time, she makes sure she's there for us. She comes to our like team bonding sessions, and she's really good. Yeah. We
just need to get her more on the social
stuff.
Don't we? We just get her in that.
Exactly. We're telling her to post more, but you know what? We'll see.
Give her a little education on it. Just explain quickly about tedball, because I think it's taken over the netball world. I mean, every team at Mavericks, every week we have to play tedball.
It's a must now. I'm sorry.
Go on, you need to explain what it is.
So it's like a fun game. I'm thinking it's a bit like volleyball. So normally we go attack versus defense.
Hang on, are you guys good at it? Because I obviously watch my lot sometimes.
I think we're amazing at it. Like, every week I'm just like, you never know who's going to win. I think we've been doing it for the last couple of years, and it's like last year a defense won. Woo. So, it's just a game like volleyball. So you set up on both sides of the court. There will be a little river where the ball cannot touch, like it's the net, I guess. And you just basically have to hit the ball over each time. It's literally like volleyball, 3 touches. It just gets really competitive. We do it in England as well. Like, I feel like that's actually the harder game than netball.
Playing with some of you lot at it. Trust me, I was with some of the England under-17s guys, and it's
we're diving for that ball.
But it's very competitive.
It is.
It's very competitive. Yeah, we have players sliding along the floor. I just love that it's kind of taken over the netball world.
It's so much fun. It actually came from Australia as well. I feel like I think Earl Cardwell, Helen Houseby brought it to England, and then next thing you know, every team's playing it, and it's a must.
It is a must. It's a must in every single warm-up. Except not for coaches who just want to see you running and getting into the session. But other than that, it's fine. Right, let me talk about Gracie Smith. So I was lucky enough to work with Gracie last year in the Mavericks Pathway under-19s. Worked with her for England under-17s as well at Netball Europe this year. There was certainly eyebrows raised when a 16-year-old walks into a Super League team. But wow, she got a debut last week, and just how much of a talent is she?
She's so good. She's so, like, for her age, she's so calm, and she's just so steady on court. Like, she knows what she has to do. She's so, like, she finds it so easy to adapt to what's around her. And I feel like no matter where we put her, she actually just gets something with her job. And she's so eager to learn as well. She's always asking us questions, and I feel like having her youth, just her energy and her passion on court, it really helps us a lot as well.
Hang on,
yeah.
did you just say having her youth at the grand old age of what, are we 22?
She is 60. I feel like I do feel like her older sister now.
Oh, right.
I once said aunt. She was like, no, Phoebe, you're not my aunt. You're my sister though.
I like how you're still trying to get to that aunt status and you haven't got there yet.
Nearly there.
Just your baby cousin or something.
Finally my time.
I think what's been really impressive with Pulse is that ability to bring the youngsters through. So Gracie's in there, obviously Sophie Kelly's still so young as well, Zara Everett. It almost feels like it's just a normal procedure at that club.
It is. I feel like Sam has always had her eyes on the younger players coming up through the league, and like she sees what other people probably don't at that time, and she makes sure to bring us in and then work with us over the next couple of years to make sure that we just build throughout every season. And this year,
well, it's a risk, right? Because you guys started it back in 2019, and the success only really started to come in 2023, 2024.
Yeah,
I think the year before. It started to build, didn't it? But you have to go through those seasons where you take a hit.
Like I feel like we started off a little bit rocky. Like we were bottom of the league when we first came into the Super League, but she just had that trust in us, and she just didn't give up. And over the next couple of years, we just kept working every single season, every single session, every single match. And next thing you know, here we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Here we are, ready to win
it
the league,
worked out.
right?
Well done, Sam.
Well, yeah. Well, and again, I think it's going to be interesting as we're in the professional era, whether teams can afford to do that now. Because you're absolutely right. Like you want to bring the youngsters through. It's all kinds of things, right? It depends what position they play. Like bringing a young shooter into a group, it's really difficult because it takes slightly longer for them to learn a trade. Whereas I always say for a defender, you've almost got nothing to lose. You win a ball, it's a bonus. You don't. No one's expecting anything.
Yeah, I think it is a balance of having those experience and that youth, like having making sure that we have people players who actually have experience on court, who know the setups, the structures, who are very strict with their performance, and having players a bit more wild, I guess, a bit more you don't really know what to expect from them. But it just adds a little bit of uncertainty to the game, which we need. I think a bit of passion, a little bit of fun, and yeah, I feel like it's all about the balance. I think I think half a team should be experienced, half the team should be a bit of flair.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So you're the experience in there now, are you?
I am now, actually.
You absolutely are. I liked how you picked up on the structure there, because I think one of the things when you came through as a young, exciting player, it was on doubt. You were always going to win ball. I always used to say, I can't believe how many times people throw the ball into your arms. I can say that now because I'm retired. I would have been one of those wing attacks. But the structure has really come, and it was one thing I used to technically look at with you. I'd be like, look, she can win this, but what does the structure look like? Yeah. You've certainly found that structure at Pulse and that partnership with Hallie in the circle. Your ability to be able to switch into the circle and let Hallie come off so early just because you're so confident going for the ball, are you really happy with where your structure's at now at the moment at goal defence?
I'm so happy. Watching, if you actually watch our matches, you actually be able to see it from the very start. Our box structure is there, our man-of-man work. Me and Hallie have been working so hard on our long switches. So me coming to the circle.
Oh, she comes out so early.
But I love it because it actually gives her ability to hunt for ball, and I love being at the back, just seeing what I can also.
Yeah, but you do realise not every goal defence can do that, right? Because you can do it because you can go in the circle and actually win ball. It's amazing, and it's playing to your strength.
I feel we all. That's the thing about our team. We all play to each other's strengths. So we allow Zara to do her hunting at the front, her man-on-man work, running hard on her player, and we'll be at the back to cover her for any if they do little switches and stuff like that. We have Tyler at the front. Her experience, she runs hard on ball as well, and we know that they're running hard for us to actually go out for it. Yeah. So it's just about that trust, I guess. So they trust us to go out for ball, and we trust them to cover the front.
I was actually surprised how big Tyler is.
She is. She's tall.
And that is a big front, with both Zara and her out the front. Yeah. People don't understand how difficult it is then to not only see the space over the height of those two, but then know that they can't put any lifted ball. Genuinely, I watched them they're not going to put that ball in. They're not going to. And then they put that ball in, and Funmi just takes it out of the air, and I'm like, yeah, they did it.
It's the arms. Actually, I don't think they can actually see where the ball's going, because I'm Tyler and Zara are so tall. Even Gracie, they have that, and they're so rangy as well, so they can get tips to the ball as well, and it just makes it a lot easier for us at the back, me and Hallie, just go flying, because the feeders can't actually see.
Do you have a moment when you're on the player thinking, I know what they're going to do?
I look over and I'm just it's going here. I'm ready.
It's so good. Your timing. What I'm most impressed about is how clean you are as well, because there is a lot of physicality in the game now and a lot of contests, and I've got no issue with that. But there are some stuff that I would say is below the belt, and I guess it's part of the game. It's how it's going. But your ability to win clean ball sets you apart from others.
I feel like I'm just best when I'm off the body. I feel like when I get on the body, that's when I get stuck. I can't move, and I get.
Hang on, I'm just going to write this down for Friday.
Yeah, that's. But yeah, when I'm on the body, I struggle a bit more. But so being at goal defense actually gives me a bit more freedom, and the long switches of Halley actually gives me time to actually come into the circle, and that's when the ball normally comes in, which allows me to get that interception because I'm not on the player. I'm running into space, and I have the ability to run and jump, and that's actually like. That's what we're good at. So yeah.
Well, it's very good as well. It's very successful. I mean, I'm looking at it across this year, and it's going to take a special team to break down that defensive unit. I think final couple of questions. It's become like a trademark. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, someone gets an intercept. That was Funmi-esque. Like it becomes that thing. We know you're so good at that. Are there still parts of the game that you're like, this is what I really, really want to work on?
I think there is like my centre pass defence. I feel like I've been building it up for the last couple of like seasons. I know that I can go out there and hunt for ball, but at the same time, I do sometimes concede it. I'm just like, you know what, you can have this, and I'll just spell good arms over, which I don't mind sometimes. But I think I can.
When you can
there.
jump like that,
it's not too bad. But yeah, and I guess just for me, it's consistency. I feel like sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm just not quite there. I just need to be consistent and have my focus on the game at all times. I do tend to lose focus for some reason, don't I?
Well, it's hard when you're a hunter player as well because you're out looking for stuff.
Looking for everything, and I'm like, oh, my player's actually behind me getting the ball. But
quick one then. Do you find that a wing defence harder?
Yes, so hard.
Yeah.
I'm just like, because you have
playing against the best players, aren't you? The
exactly,
wing
the fastest players on court, and I'm just like, I prefer like I have quite wider steps than. And wing attacks have quite smaller ones. So that's a list. But so I find it quite hard to kind of like find their bodies, and the dictating stuff I sort of say what I need to work on. But other than that, it's been going well.
I think it's been going better than well for me. Well, listen, like, I could talk to you all day about this. I absolutely loved it. But good luck at the weekend. I mean, we talk about rivalry. You too, yeah. Do you mean that?
Yeah, I actually do. Like,
okay.
It's going to be a hard match. I feel like every single time we play each other, it's always like one goal in it. So it's going to be a fun one, I think.
And it's sold out?
It's sold out. So make sure to come. Well, you
can't.
You can't come anymore, but if you got a ticket,
they can watch it.
They can watch it on Sky Sports.
Oh, she really is going to take my job. Listen, Funmi, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Remember, you can check out all the action of the round 3 games. They start on Friday. There's 3 games there. The big one, though, London Pools versus London Mavericks. Make sure you tune in.